Yo, you already know what it is. Kage in the basement. We locked in. Let's get it. Let's get into another chapter up. Now, off rip, salute to all my subscribers. Shout out to everybody that leaving comments on every video. I really appreciate that shit. And another thing I wanted to say, 2020 has been a crazy year. Things have been changing at a rapid pace. And definitely battle rap has been changing at a rapid pace. And I'm loving it, man. I'm here for it. Let's chop it up, man. Now, if you got it, like it. Drinks ready, roll up, do whatever you're gonna do. I got my coffee out of mason jars. You already know how to do it. Now the first thing I want to touch on is the battles that went down last weekend. Already touched on the Holmesy the God versus Danny Myers. You could probably catch that in the info cards. Already touched on Bill Collector versus None. Check out that review. That battle was fire. Both of those battles was fire. Now, I do want to touch on the other two battles that took place this weekend. The first one, Shotgun Suge versus YK. Now, this battle was fire. I really appreciate the fact that both of these brothers was able to bounce back and give us a great performance. Shotgun Suge had a little rusty start in his caffeine era, and I feel like he picked it up, readjusted his style, switched his frequency, and he came back powerful. Now, I think with Shotgun Suge in his new era, he has great conditioning. He's adding a lot more stamina and endurance to what he was doing, and that's just going to make somebody as crazy as Shotgun Suge way more energetic and way more entertaining. I think Suge is going to be dangerous coming out of this caffeine era. Y'all better watch out for that boy. He about to start dunking on y'all niggas and backflipping, and it's about to get crazy. Trust me. YK was also able to come back, readjust his frequency, see what's going on out there, and switch his style. We all thought YK was going to be dominant in his format, but he came out, he had a lot of rust he had to shake off, and he got back to it. His first battles during the tournament, I was surprised that he had that much rust and he didn't perform as well as we all thought he was, because this format just looked like it was built for him. But he figured it out, and now he's going to be dangerous, punching back-to-back. His energy was on 1,000. YK is back and in real form, and he's gunning for one of the rookies. We really need a nigga like YK that has been putting up all this consistency. I don't think he's ever lost to somebody of a lower tier than him. So with the rookies being up 4-0, we need a nigga like YK to put Cuban down. Cuban, I don't think you're ready for YK, man. You wasn't ready a few years ago when you was calling him out. You definitely not ready now, and you ain't been in action for a minute. I hope you ready, young boy. But that's gonna be a fire battle. I'm looking forward to YK on Rookie versus Vets. Next topic I want to get onto: Saga versus Franchise. Again, we got a veteran, an older, more seasoned person like Saga who was choking in the beginning of this format. He finally got his shit together, and Saga also reinvented itself again and created another move, Zen Mode Saga. I fuck with that. Saga is not afraid to take risks. That's very important. Even though he did take a risk and it flopped horribly during Ultimate Madness with Mike P, he still came back and took another risk and it worked out. He lost horribly, during Gnome with Mike P. He lost horribly to Holmesy with all the chokes. Then he bounced right back. So salute the Saga, man. Not a lot of people have the stomach to fail and keep getting back up. That type of tenacity takes a very different type of person to have that. So I recognize that. And I salute that. Franchise, another person who we all thought this format was going to be great for him, the way he has rapid fire punches, but some way, somehow, he looked kind of rusty in that ring and he ran against a roadblock. Now, I didn't think he lost that first battle per se. I just think he stayed on one gear. And in this tournament, we see how switching gears is way more effective than staying on one gear. But now he added a different element to what he's doing out there. Franchise is now adding a little more of his story element, and he needs to focus more on that, because I believe he's the only Canadian battle rapper that can talk what we're familiar with, that street shit. Pat Stay is here on the URL, but he has an element of Canada that we never really get to see inside. Tory Lanez don't even give you a lot of that side of Canada, which he started his career doing. So I think he has a whole niche, narrow market he can tap into. He just needs to figure that shit out. And don't go away from the gun bar shit, because the shit you do that reminds me so much of Rock, I love that. You like a baby Tay Rock anyway. Like, your name should be fucking Pebble or something. That's crazy. I like that shit. But stick with that, but keep adding elements to your shit and you'll be fine. I think Franchise is fire, and he's definitely going to be dangerous in this format. And when he get back to where he shined at in them bigger rooms, he's going to be tearing the building off. the roof off the building. We already know how that's going down. So salute the franchise. I'm glad that he's adding new skill sets during this time too. Now, it's a couple of topics I want to touch on. One of the things I want to touch on is 40 versus Jag. I'm going to use this battle or potential battle to bring up a topic. Misunderstandings in battle rap. A lot of times when battle rap, most of the communication is done by tweets, through bloggers and their videos, through behind the scenes interviews. Most in the majority of the communication is done like that. So with that being said, a lot of things get misinterpreted, a lot of narratives get spent, and a lot of things get taken out of context. We even clearly saw how two battle rappers were face-to-face speaking, still taking everything out of context. I think sometimes, especially when you're an aggressive dude and you from the streets, when your tempers start flaring and you getting high and emotional, the best thing to do is to calm your ass down and fall back until you can figure everything out. It's not good to move off emotion, especially when you're dealing in business. Now, this is battle rap. It's a very flagrant, disrespectful, violent sport. So if somebody's disrespecting you, especially in battle rap, you got to take time to figure out, is this real or is this battle rap? Understand people want to keep their real guy image on, but you can't come into this arena necessarily with that. Everybody should be respected as a man, but you have to understand, once you're in an interview, once you're in a blog, once you're on camera, you are putting on the show and you are at the show. This isn't the rap game where you want to keep your personal life tied to what you do in your music. This is more or less an entertainment business. Yes, you want to be real and authentic and be original, but you can't mistake what you're doing for reality. I just think if these two brothers could get on the same page, 40 Cal and Jag, they can get a great battle off. This battle has history. They both was in the Fight Club era, and I think this is a battle that people were anticipating back in the day, so why not get the bag now? Once they figure that out, they spoke on the phone before, they should be able to get on the phone now, so once they figure that out, I think that'll be a blockbuster battle, and they need to get that bag and stop bullshitting. Now, Murder, Mook, and Brizz. Again, another topic I just want to use to touch on a topic in battle rap. Battlers backing out in battles. Now, the way people be reacting to information so fast, it always bugs me out. But apparently, Brizz is not going to do the Murder Mook battle. We all have to take into account. I'm not going to get too much into how I feel about that particularly, this battle, because nobody knows what Brizz is going through. Nobody knows what's going on behind the scenes. And from what it looks like, Smack and them are not even on the same page. Brizz, Mook, and Smack is not on the same page. So with that being said, everybody else's assumptions is null and void because the main parties don't even know what's going on as far as everybody knowing exactly what's happening. So everybody else's opinions is not even needed for that. I just want to speak on backing out of battle rap. We all know that once these leagues sign them contracts, or these battlers sign the contracts, the leagues push the button and they start a promotion campaign. It costs a lot of money to put these promotion campaigns together. Most of these promotional campaigns is probably equaling the battle itself, or most of them are exceeding the battle. You got to take that into account. So I understand URL's frustration, but I want to get into saying it's mainly, you got to think of it as mainly their fault in a way, and I'm not going to blame them for what's going on. I'm just going to say anytime there's a miscommunication or a misunderstanding when it involves a league and a battle rapper per se, you have to blame the league because they are the ones that's organizing this whole situation. And even though they have every right to be frustrated and they did do everything they had to do and they got blindsided, it's still nobody's fault but theirs. That's why I guess that's why they decided to move on and just chalk it off as a loss and get right back to business because there's not much they can do at this point. Whatever due diligence they didn't do is not really going to reverse the situation, so they did what they should do as a business. But battlers being responsible. We know we just came out of an era where battlers weren't being held accountable for whatever they were doing, taking deposits, not showing up to battles. People were getting battles canceled on them, finding out the day of. That was a very harsh era because we as fans was paying a premium for this content and for these battles. And most of these events, the idea of us purchasing these pay-per-views was sold on the fact that certain people were going to be battling and certain people were going to be in the building. So that was a terrible, terrible era to be in, and I'm just glad we out of that. But when it comes to battlers backing out of battles, until all the information is out there, I think the community as a whole, the battle rap community, should just chill and figure shit out. Because not everybody's trying to get over, and not everybody just 100% can focus on battle rap at all times, even after the contracts are signed. So that's really all I wanted to touch on when it comes to that. Another thing I wanted to touch on is Math versus Lux. Now, a lot of people are thinking to themselves that Math probably is on some high from the Jag battle, and he's calling out Loaded Lux because he had one of his greater performances of his career. If y'all been under a rock for the last 10 years, or if y'all new to battle rap, let me explain something to y'all. This battle was one of the biggest battles in battle rap at one point. Math HOFFA was one of the biggest names in battle rap, and Loaded Lux was one of the biggest names from the previous Lions Den era. These dudes were supposed to see each other probably on Summer Madness 1. If y'all don't recall, Math and Lux been throwing shots at each other for years. What changed the landscape though, and this is a very, very fun, interesting fact. Math was supposed to definitely battle Loaded Lux from my understanding. Then Summer Madness 1 happened. If y'all pay attention to Summer Madness 1, Loaded Lux is front row, front and center. What y'all don't know is Loaded Lux is not there to look at Calico. He's not there scouting out the younger talent. Loaded Lux is at that battle front and center to see what Math is going to do. Because he was potentially thinking about making his return to battle rap versus Math. Math's job was to kill Calico. It was a setup. Norbes probably had it in his mind that Math was going to kill Calico and then set up the Lux battle for Summer Madness 2. But Calico threw a wrench in that plan. Calico stepped to Math, did what he did, same spot Dose was at, beat Math, and threw a shot at Lux in that battle. When he said, fastest way to Harlem ain't the A-train slick, because you jumped in the train, we jumped in the whip. So the fastest way to Harlem ain't the A-train bit. Like, yo, Cal's shot at Lux was legendary. That kind of changed Lux's target. At that moment, Lux like, yo, I'm not going to battle HOFFA. HOFFA just lost to the young boy, and the young boy shooting at me. So now, from that moment, Lux geared up to battle Calico. So Calico actually stopped this battle from happening. This battle would have happened on Summer Madness 2. Or probably the Gnome before that. Calico stopped all of that. So you got to give Calico his respect. And then Lux came and did what he did to Calico and put himself on the top of the map. But with that being said, if Calico don't beat Math, Lux and Math still happens. Lux and Math will be considered one of the top two people in battle rap right now. So this battle makes perfect sense. It got a lot of history. I know Lux got DAYLYT coming up next, but Lux, you know what this is, beloved. You were supposed to bend see HOFFA. HOFFA put on against Meth. He put on against Jag. He had the performance of a lifetime against Hollow. He taking out the best of the best, man. You got to get in the ring with HOFFA, Lux. I know you got your kill list is long, but somewhere along that line, you and HOFFA got to dance, man. And HOFFA, I hope you ready to dance with Lux, man, because Lux is ready. Lux is probably gearing up to have the best battle of his lifetime. He's seen what DAYLYT did. So I'm pretty sure Lux is going to come back showing us some shit we never seen before, or at least that's what I'm expecting. But I really want to see that battle. I don't care if you got to do it on Legends only. That's a battle the world needs, man. But I would prefer to have it on Caffeine. I can't lie. But yo, that'll be dope on Legends only too. Even on RBE, that battle will be dope. Anywhere you put it, that battle is fire. And it has a lot of history, so pay attention, y'all. This battle should have been went down. Another thing I want to touch on is I seen DAYLYT and ARP going at it. This is not like a DAYLYT versus ARP or nothing, but I seen them going at it, making two good points. They was basically talking about league owners versus battle rappers. Now, I understand ARP point of view, and I 100% agree with them. As a business, when you take all of the risk up front, you get all of the reward on the back end. That's just how it works. I don't care what business you're talking about. And the majority of the time, the back end money is way bigger than the money up front. It always exceeds that amount. And you know, a lot of times, when there's profit involved, but a lot of times there's losses involved, and that's what I wanted to touch on. That was ARP's angle, and I also 100% agree with ARP. What people fail to realize is, I'll give you a great example of the music industry. The music industry tends to focus on artists that got jerked by a particular label. You know, this artist sold X amount of records and they wasn't compensated compared to equally or fairly compared to how much money the label made off that artist in the long run or as a whole. So I agree. Let's say an artist made about 10 million his whole career. I'm pretty sure that label probably made in the tens of millions or hundreds of millions off that artist's catalog over the course of 10, 15 years. Those masters be worth a lot of money. But what people fail to realize is, for every one successful artist that a label has, whether or not they pay them handsomely, fairly or not, for every one successful artist a major label has, there's about 100 artists that failed. That they put through that same ringer, that same process, same upfront investment, that it did not work out. Somewhere around probably 95% of the acts in the music business don't work out. So all of that money are losses. There's even a system in the industry where they sign people, give them advances, and never intend to make money off them. There's a system for the labels to take losses that they never intend on recouping any return on their investment on. So like I said, the same thing applies for the league owners. This is not me taking any sides here. This is just me stating facts. For every one battle that goes viral or gets a lot of views, they book 100 battles that we didn't even see, probably. Especially the URL. How many PGs we never saw? Or how many battles never came out? How many battles were just ass at the end of the day that they didn't recoup no money back off of? But what happens every single time is they pay money out every time. So it's not a whether or not a battler is going to get paid. That's guaranteed money for the battler, but there's no guarantee on that ROI. That return on investment. So I understand what ARP is saying. Now let's get into what DAYLYT is saying. So look, I agree with ARP and I understand how business works, how the music industry works for the most part, as far as that is concerned, return on investments and taking losses, being in the red and all of that. Now when you look at what DAYLYT was trying to say, I don't think DAYLYT was talking more about the YouTube revenue. He was talking other aspects of battle rap that people should be monetizing and should have the right to monetize. Let me give you a great example. A couple of years back to myself, I mentioned in one of my videos when I first started YouTube that I really think that the next stage in battle rap would be audio form, strictly audio form on streaming platforms. And I'm going to tell you why that works. We're kind of doing something like that now with the Caffeine streaming live and what Mad Fafa's doing now with his Legends Only. But my idea was, what gave me the idea is, at that time I was real busy doing a lot of moving around and point A to point B type shit, and I didn't have a lot of time to be looking in my phone, paying attention to things, but I listened to a lot of music on the go, and what I did a lot of, other than listen to music, was listen to battles on the go. And I'm pretty sure people that drive in cars do the same thing. They can't be staring at their phone while they're in their car, so they can only listen to the battle. But trying to listen to something on YouTube always used to be annoying to me, so I got the idea that maybe they should find a way to just put the audio file, not the video file, just the audio file on Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, and I thought that would have been a great idea if I had the option to just go to one of these other audio platforms and just listen to the raw audio of the battle. That was great years ago in my opinion. And another reason why I thought it would be a good idea is the league is only really concerned with the visual content. As far as the audio as a separate entity, they don't make money off that. It's just there. There's audio files that they attach to video files and that they make a battle out of, a product out of, but that audio file could be sold separately and packaged separately. I always thought, and since the leagues wasn't making money off it, I thought maybe they should just allow the battle rappers to obtain their audio file and make, you know, a CD out of it. Like, imagine if Lux can take his rounds versus all of just his battles versus everybody he battled and make a CD out of it. Just the audio, not the video, just the audio. That would be dope. I always thought something like that would be dope. So battlers need to look into that, and then that'll be a way for them to monetize and get royalties off of this audio as if it was a song, because it is musical content. And another thing I realized is a lot of people listen to motivational speakers and they just listen to the audio. They listen to church services, Sunday service, just the audio. So I've been thought it was a good idea. And since the leagues wasn't accessing it, it only made sense to give it to the battle rappers. I think that's something like what DAYLYT was alluding to. And I have sort of like a medium. It's just an idea. What if the battle rappers, since they can't put their battles on their own personal YouTube channel, which I think they should be able to do, I just think the battlers should record themselves rehearsing their rounds, kind of like some behind the scenes 24/7 shit, upload that to their personal YouTube after the battle's been produced, fully produced, and the battle's been out for a while. They can upload them rehearsing the battle, something like that. That would give them a way to use their content that they created in their way and monetize it. That's just a small idea. Anybody can run with it. I really don't care. But who the fuck am I? What the fuck do I know? But I thought DAYLYT was making a good point. Battle rappers need to start figuring out other ways to monetize their content other than the battle. And they should have every right to use every aspect of the battle for monetization other than the entire video file, I guess. Because that's what the league invests in and that's what they put all the upfront money for. So there's some sort of middle ground there that new forms of revenue could be generated and new mediums could be created. That needs to be figured out. Now let's get into some news real quick. I wanted to touch on two topics real quick. First thing, KOTD merging with Twitch. Again, this is huge for battle rap because what this does is it makes the playing field way more competitive. Everybody knows Twitch is a major platform, billion-dollar industry entity. It's great for competing with a service like Caffeine. They both started with gaming. Now they both directly attaching themselves to battle rap. I think that's crazy fire and it's going to make battle rap mainstream. As a matter of fact, battle rap is mainstream now, whether we like it or not. It's probably been the #1 form of entertainment throughout the whole corona situation and quarantine era. I bet you if you check the stats, battle rap is up there with some of the top forms of entertainment in the world. And battle rap was a billion-dollar industry, man. We better shape it up and get our shit together because they already purchasing shit by the minute, buying up everything. The rich people are here. The people with the deep pockets are here. They are buying up every fucking thing. So we need to pay attention to that. And I'm real excited for this Grand Prix tournament. It seems like they got a lot of veterans coming back, females, males, people from all over the place. This shit is going to be dope. I'm tuning in to Twitch. I already got a Twitch account. I'm going to be locked in over there every Sunday or whenever they doing it. This is going to make battle rap crazy. The line in the sand has been drawn. Let's get it. Another thing I want to touch on real quick before I get out of here is Norbes versus the URL. Now, this is breaking news, actually. They actually just released this, I think, this morning or yesterday. Norbes is apparently suing the URL for $40 million. Now, I don't really want to get into the details of the lawsuit per se, because I'm pretty sure everybody in the battle rap community is breaking this information down step by step and going over how they feel and their personal feelings about should Norbes get the money, does he deserve it, whatever. I don't really want to talk about that. That's none of my business. What I want to talk about is the document itself. I want to talk about the document itself because what people fail to realize is this document changes the landscape of battle rap forever. Let me explain to you what I mean. Norbes detailed every single thing that happened with the URL since its inception in full detail with dates, numbers, emails, conversations, everything. He basically gave you an inside, in-depth look of every step it took to get URL to where it's at now. Now, let me explain to y'all what that means. That's an information dump. Battle rap is a billion-dollar industry. We have to face that. Whether the owners or the top people in battle rap get $1 billion from it, if you incorporate everybody that makes money off of battle rap, all the media, all the things, all the sponsorship, battle rap is a $1 billion untapped industry that just got tapped by a few live streaming services. But the way industries work, the way money works, once you get past a few million, things start working different. Everything is based off of information. Let me explain to you. URL held all the information, all the details of how this billion-dollar industry was created. That's what made the URL so valuable. So when a big major conglomerate comes in and partners with you or gives you a lot of money to invest in your company, they're doing that because you hold all the information. That information is the money. Not so much the battles, the prior battles and the work, the quote-unquote work you put in. It's all about the amount of information you obtain opposed to how much they know already. That's going to determine the negotiation, how much money you get up front, all of that. And that's going to determine how long this partnership lasts as well. The person with the information holds all the keys. What Norbes just did was gave out all the information to the world. Again, it's billion-dollar information that's in this document. Norbes just gave it out to the world. That changes everything. Let me give you a perfect example. If Total Slaughter had all of this detailed information when they went into started their own battle rap endeavor and tried to leave Smack out, they would have succeeded. Total Slaughter would still be here as a billion-dollar entity in battle rap. But the reason why they failed is because they left out the people with the information. URL, Smack. See how that works? Caffeine did it the right way. They came in and gave URL X amount of dollars because they had the information. They understood that. And that's why Caffeine is succeeding. That's why they were able to take that initial investment and go out and get a $113 million endorsement. They understood that. Now, how does that landscape change if Caffeine has all the information now? They don't have to pay for any more information. I'm not sure what URL told Caffeine about how this works. All of the details of how they started battle rap and how they run their business. I'm not sure about how much of that information they disclosed. But I guarantee you they didn't disclose all of this. All of the personal information, contacts, emails, everything that Norbes mentioned. Norbes gave away the key to battle rap. Now, any major conglomerate worth half their salt can just come in and do this shit. What made this impossible before was nobody had the real information. Nobody was on the ground like Smack and Norbes and them. You know, with the exception of a few folk like ARP or Organic who was actually on the ground. And actual battle rappers who started their own leagues. People who were on the ground. People who had information that they knew was valuable and they could profit off of. Norbes just exposed everything. That alone changes battle rap indefinitely. Because now, Caffeine, their negotiations with new URL changes now. They know more information. And that's how business works. That's why when I first seen this document and I realized what it entailed, I said, wow. Wow. Norbes really gave away billion-dollar secrets like that? In lieu of a $40 million lawsuit? Oh yeah, we playing big game now. It's on now. The cat's out the bag, man. This changes everything for battle rap. But yeah, you already know what it is. It's your motherfucking boy Kage in the basement. Yo, man, hit me up in the comments, man. I gotta know how y'all feel about that. Look, listen. Trust me, this document changes battle rap indefinitely.